Let's commit a polite blasphemy. Most of what the internet calls Tantra is aesthetics plus dopamine, silk, candles, boundary vapor, and a teacher who speaks in italics. Real Tantra, the kind that terrifies habits, does not need your bed. It needs your cortex. Deity yoga, the beating heart of Vajrayana, isn't a license for indulgence. It's a hostile takeover of your predictive brain. You don't pleasure your way to freedom. You recompile perception until the self you keep reenacting has nothing left to stand on. Tantra. Without sex isn't prudish, it's accurate. Desire isn't deleted, it's aimed. Wrath isn't suppressed, it's vectorized. Pride isn't coddled, it's dissolved into space. The deity is not a sky person. It's a training target, a deliberately engineered pattern that overloads the senses, hijacks self-talk, and forces attention, affect, and posture into non-neurotic alignment. You're not worshipping a statue, you're installing firmware. Here's the heresy: visualization, mantra, mudra, breath, gaze. These aren't religious decorations, they are synchronized inputs, visual, auditory, proprioceptive, respiratory, designed to slam your predictive loops with a new prior, compassion as default, clarity as baseline, emptiness as ontology. Rehearse that pattern long enough, and your reflex to grasp, posture, and flinch arrives too late. The scene has already been recoded. This series will strip deity yoga of incense and leave its mechanics on the table. How image becomes attentional scaffolding, how mantra becomes interrupt handler, how posture becomes state lock, how offering emptiness cycles become garbage collection for identity. If your Tantra can't survive fluorescent light and an email queue, it isn't Tantra. It's a vibe with costumes. I'm silent flame. Put away the silk. Bring a notebook. We're going to make your self-model non-bootable on purpose. Drop the superstition without losing the power. A deity is an interface contract among image, meaning, and body. Think of Avalokiteshvara / Kuan Yin, visual form, many arms / eyes, semantic payload, attentive compassion, affect, color, warmth, motor signature, soft spine, open chest, mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, as auditory clock. Each channel points attention the same way. Multimodal redundancy equals fewer crashes. Why images at all? Because raw emptiness is non-sticky. Brains learn via salient, repeatable cues. The deity is salience with ethics baked in. It seduces your attention away from ruminative loops and welds it to a non-harmful prior. Over time, that prior becomes your nervous system's first guess about the world, not a special event. That's not faith, that's conditioning with informed consent. But isn't this make-believe? Yes, and so is your current self. You hallucinate me all day with shabby props. Grievance, hunger, status, ache. Deity yoga is counter-hallucination, a deliberately chosen, audited fiction that outcompetes your sloppy ones until both collapse into non-fiction. Appearance equals empty play. You don't keep the deity forever, you use it to erase the need for a deity. The critical distinction: personification versus projection. Personification: I'm training a pattern through a figure. Projection: a sky parent will rescue me. The first builds capacity, the second builds dependence. If your teacher can't keep that line bright, walk. Deity yoga runs a stack. Each layer pins the next like a 5-point seatbelt. Image, visual prior, high contrast, simple geometry, iconic attributes. You're not painting a museum, you're stabilizing attention. The job is stickiness without clutter, recognizable even when tired. Mantra auditory clock, a short phonetic loop with rhythmic symmetry. It's not magic syllables, it's a timing signal that reduces discursivity. Inner speech compulsions get preempted by the mantra's cadence. Breath, autonomic anchor. Slow, even exhale bias. Breath sets autonomic tone, shifting the body out of threat so the rest of the stack can run. Without breath, discipline, visualization becomes fantasy with anxiety. Gaze, oculomotor leash, soft, slightly lifted or centered. Eye position feeds back to arousal and narrative. Moving eyes wildly equals moving mind wildly. Deity yoga pins gaze to pin story. Posture, somatic container. The body is the compiler. Open chest, lengthened back line, grounded seat. You're giving the nervous system a physical proof that the deity's qualities can live in a spine, not just a thought. When all five align, prediction error drops. The world stops contradicting you because you're not insisting on the old self's expectations. You've swapped the prior. Do this for months, not minutes, and your default output under stress becomes closer to the trained pattern. That's the whole bet. Tantra's peaceful and wrathful forms are not moods, they're affect tool sets. Peaceful deities install soothing clarity, warmth without collapse, openness without leak. Wrathful deities install surgical intensity, heat that cuts glue, not people. If you only train soft, you become edible. If you only train hard, you become toxic. The point is range, effect that responds to conditions, not ego. Mechanically, peaceful sets push parasympathetic tone without dissociation. Wrathful sets push sympathetic arousal without aggression. Both are practiced within emptiness framing so you don't worship the state. The deity's face is a mask your nervous system learns to wear on command, then discard. Can you rotate from laser clarity to oceanic tenderness in seconds without lying? That's Deity Yoga's KPI. Beware the cosplay. Wrathful costumes attract bullies who call abuse crazy wisdom. Peaceful costumes attract appeasers who call collapse equanimity. Audit with outcomes. Do relationships get safer and speech get cleaner? If not, the mask is wearing you. Without emptiness, deity yoga is idolatry. With emptiness, it's neuroengineering that self-erases. 3 beats, generation stage, build the scene, mandala, body, light, as empty appearance. You explicitly label it like a rainbow, like a dream. That flag prevents reification. Completion stage, drop the image into energy signatures, channels, drops, wind, or simply body heat, tingle, space. You're teaching the system to feel qualities without the picture. Compassion as warmth/expansion. Clarity as cool/bright. Dissolution. Let the entire construct vanish into open knowing. No deity, no practitioner, no result, just lucid space tasting itself. This is garbage collection. It removes the training wheels so you don't become a pious cartoon. Cycle that loop and you immunize against the 2 classic bugs, clinging to bliss and clinging to emptiness. You learn to love the colors and eat them. Root access without governance becomes a cult. Period. Tantric commitments, vows, samaya are not feudal contracts. They are rate limiters, ethics that keep speed from turning into harm, precepts, no killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, intoxication. The firewall, Bodhisattva vows network policy service before glow, samaya, high trust channel with logs. If your group calls oversight worldly, they're announcing their attack surface. Operationalize, budgets on paper, rotation of power, grievance channels with non-retaliation, touch money protocols. If your teacher won't pass basic transparency, don't hand them your mind. Deity yoga amplifies whatever is there. If ethics are weak, mantra makes you worse faster. Outperforms generic mindfulness for state access under load, affirmations because it changes posture, breath, not just sentences, vision boards because it includes dissolution, preventing narcissism, talk only therapy in moments where language can't touch arousal. Fails when used as escape from repair. I visualize compassion while avoiding the phone call. When used as brand, aesthetic over audit. When sex-coated to bypass boundaries, energy exchange equals grooming. When ripped from emptiness, reifies specialness, or ethics weaponizes charisma. If your deity work doesn't reduce time to repair after you mess up, it's theater. If strangers don't feel safer around your speed, it's cosplay. If your partner can't tell the difference between your wrathful clarity and a tantrum, you are practicing ego yoga with incense. Sex sells because it's loud. Training sells because it works. Deity yoga is not a moral upgrade. It's a mechanical one. Replace shabby priors with audited ones until even the new ones self-delete on contact with emptiness. Keep the ceremony if it helps. Lose it if it steals cycles from practice. Your metric is boring and holy. Less reactivity, faster repair, cleaner speech, harm reduced beyond your mirror. So here's the pledge. I will use images to train attention, sounds to train narrative, breath to train tone, gaze to train arousal, posture to train truth, all inside emptiness so nothing sticks, all inside ethics so no one gets burned. If my Tantra needs a bed to feel powerful, it isn't Tantra. If my deity can't survive an inbox, it isn't deity yoga. If my practice makes me special instead of useful, I will uninstall it. I'm silent flame. Keep your silk if you like. The only thing we're undressing tonight is the self that keeps performing suffering. Put the crown on your cortex, then watch it vanish.